Guys, global is coming very, very quickly, and I'm excited. Personally, I am excited. And so I want to continue bringing you guys amazing content for Reverse 1999. So I have a team building video to help you guys out with the characters. If you've been looking at them, you're like, man, I want this character, that character. Well, this video will help you put them all together. Going to be using pridwin.gg because they have a great reference here. Lyriel and Gordon in the Pridwin Discord worked on this, so I'm giving all credit to them because they are amazing over there in Pridwin. And so we're going to be using this as a guide to help you if you are unsure of what characters you want to use and how to pair them together. They use a lot of teams that I would have considered myself. And so instead, I'm just going to partner with Pridwin to bring this because it is a great reference to use in the game. They have every character. They have a lot of the translations for global. And then you have information on CN characters also that are coming out if you're looking to it, right? So with building a team, very similar to my team building guide, you want to pick a main damage dealer, pick a support, and then have either a second support or a survival character to just help you keep alive. So they have teams broken up between whale, like budget, some dolphin teams, even some CN teams that I want to talk about. That way you can kind of put in your head like who you want to get. And I can give you guys kind of an idea of what the future is going to look like, which I'll do a whole separate video of some of like the banners, like a banner roadmap, right? But first team we have up is the Centurion team. Centurion is a very, very popular character when it comes to the fact that she is a waifu and she can just do a lot. She is a amazing carry that does single target and AoE damage, right? So with using specific characters that allow her to gain her moxie is going to be important, right? So you have Anan Lee, who gives a damage dealt buff, and Medicine Pocket is going to help out to heal and also help with the extra damage taken on the enemies. And it just allows Centurion to pump out as much damage as she can, right? This is a whale team because it's all 6 stars. And not that it's not possible for you if you just, re-roll as a free-to-play. It's just that it's typically going to be more difficult for someone to start with all 6 stars, right? So this is why this is considered a whale team, right? Now, the Sar Bomba team. I love the names that Gordon made for this. Very, very funny names. But this is utilizing mainly like Lilia because she is a really cool Russian character. And then you also have Regulus, who is a mental damage user. But again, with Lilia, she focuses on critting. She needs to crit to get most of her damage out. So like this is going to be a whale team because you really want to use Lilia again if she can crit at the beginning. So like you got to have some characters that can help her out. So like Voyager is going to be a great option because she does the confusion debuff, which helps you crit. And then if you're not really critting with your Lilia, then you can use Anan Lee, or you can use Regulus, as an option as well. And then for sustain, you have Medicine Pocket because to me at launch, she's going to be an amazing character. If you just don't really want to worry about dying, you have Medicine Pocket for you. And so this is also a great team. Now, let's get into some budget teams. For those of you who are small spenders, maybe even free to play, these are going to be teams for you. So if you end up rolling and you get Lilia as your guaranteed 6-star, you can build a team by using Sonetto and Tenant, or you can use Eric. Eric is not a bad option. If you end up using your pulls, like all your pulls, you should get a copy of Eric, and she gives a crit resist and crit defense debuff to the enemies, and is going to help you out, especially if you can get some copies on her, right? And that's why I'm saying using your pulls. Sonetto is going to be free, and then with using your pulls, hopefully you get Tenant. And there are other options to use if you don't get Tenant. It's just Tenant is a great option to use because she's a shielder and just kind of helps out with Lilia, because Lilia only sustains herself if she can crit, right, on her ult. If she can crit. The mental star budget team is just going to be the magical or mental damage version of this team. You have Regulus, who has amazing crits, but she only acts, every other turn. So like you want to use characters that can help with that. So you got Baby Blue. Baby Blue is a good mental defense plus damage taken unit, and she helps out because she can help out with Regulus going every other turn. And then you have DK who does some really good damage and uses typically a lot more AP. And so you can use DK with Regulus going every other turn, or you can do Baby Blue to help out. Eric is there if you want to help crit, right? Because Regulus is all about critting. And then Matilda is just another option that you can use because Matilda is free. She's gonna be a 5-star character, uses mental damage, and also provides the confusion debuff, which helps with critting as well. Eternity Full. This is basically a team that's going all in on Eternity, and they have a budget or a whale version. This is using characters that have great synergy with her because Eternity really wants less teammates to give her like full amount of survivability and really use her kit to her fullest. But if you want to up her damage output, then you're going to want to use other characters to help her out. And so that's what we have: Sonetto and Anan Lee. And basically, like as a support, like Sonetto is going to be your budget like Anan Lee. Basically, if you can spend a little money or you get lucky and you get Anan Lee, that'll be great for you. Balloon Party is going to be an amazing sustain who doesn't really help out in buffing anyone's damage, but she does some damage herself and does a lot of heals. She does AoE healing. So she's a great option if you don't decide to go with a Medicine Pocket or Miss New Babel, or you're like budget and you can't really afford to get a Medicine Pocket, Miss New Babel. Balloon Party is a great 5-star option for you to use. I use her on my scene account. She's a great character. Eternity Solo. This is where we are utilizing Eternity's great sustain. Now this is where like if you're just literally invested in to Eternity, you didn't get really a lot of characters that help for her. This is where Miss New Babel or Bet, who's a 3-star character, can really benefit. Bet helps up the star ranks of Eternity and also just helps out with survivability as well. Because Eternity can solo. She can. It's gonna take you a long time. Longer than usual, but like you can get it done, right? Because she just sustains like crazy. So this is if you're just fully invested into Eternity. So Pawn Shop Crit. This is basically a crit team that's using characters that are not 6 stars. This is very feasible for a free-to-play player, budget player, because like Eagle is a free character that you get, and she has crazy crit. If you can get a couple copies of her at Portrait 4, at P4 she has 100% crit chance, which is insane. And she also can up the amount of damage that she does to the enemies as well. And then you have Sonetto, which is the damage buff, damage reduction, the penetration, or you can use Eric if you don't have an Eagle at max, right? Eric will be able to help you get to max on Eric. And then La Source is a good healer to help out with disarm, damage taken, does AoE heals, doesn't really use a lot of Moxie. And so she's a good option if you and she's gonna be a better option than Apple, right? So good character to use if you can't get like Balloon Party or Medicine Pocket, right? If you're just wanting to use as minimal amount of summons as possible. Non-crit star Dolphin. This is because it's not a crit team and it's a Dolphin because you want to get some specific characters and then copies on Charlie. Charlie, after seeing a lot of CN players talk and a lot of testing, Charlie at her Portrait 3P3, you'll see me talk about a lot, is the best 5-star carry in the game. And she can rival Lilia, who's the highest single target in the game. And she just nukes with her ult. I talked about her in my top DPS video. And she's pretty good. But she has no sustain. She cannot keep herself alive, really. So that's where you're going to want like Medicine Pocket or like DK to help keep her alive. But really Medicine Pocket. So that's where this is a Dolphin, because you're going to have to get copies with Charlie. And then you want to try to also get Medicine Pocket as well. Baby Blue is going to be good because she lowers mental defense and gives damage taken debuffs, which just goes well with Charlie because Charlie is a mental damage character. But this is a really good option if you just don't want to use the usual Eternity, Centurion, Lilia, and like you'll still do amazing damage if you're just wanting to use like a team that doesn't use like the most popular characters in the game. Example sacrifice team. So this team is really funny. Like to me, and yes, this is actually a character in the game, and he has use. I know a lot of you are like, this is a troll team. Like, no, this is a team that actually works. I've seen it. I haven't used it because like I don't have necrologists, but it works really well. So what the team, it's like Fear Strat from Pokemon, right? The using the Focus Sash on Rattata, right? Then doing the Endeavor quick attack, like it's like that in a way, basically. The whole thing cycles around Door using the ult. Door uses the ult, gives a lot of moxie to everybody, can buff a character like A Knight, Centurion, Lilia. They nuke. Necrologist has her ability to keep Door from dying by basically putting him on 1 health, basically prevents you from taking lethal damage, including self damage, as they note. So a really interesting team. But they put here it's fight dependent because it won't work on every fight. But if you can get it to work, it works great. And if any of you want to do this team, if you are a Centurion rolling, or if you're going to go get A Knight or you use Lilia, please try out this team and let me know. Like, let me know in Discord or something. Let me know how it's working for you on global because it works. And I want to hear all the stories you have. Like, even come back to this video and tell me how it works for you because like it's a very funny team. All right. So the CN teams, a lot of you probably are thinking, oh, I'll just click off the video. This has nothing to do with me. This matters because there are very important characters for you if you're going to be free to play or you're not going to spend as much, or even a dolphin, and you're wanting to see where your team goes in future proof. A lot of these teams get updated, or there's just new teams to give you an outlook of like what it's going to look like in the future and future updates. Right? There's some very strong options that are coming out. Not that I'm saying like every character gets power crept. That's at global. No, it's just that you'll be able to replace certain characters based off of what they do, right? So, Lilia, this is Lilia's team, Sarbomba. This is a whale team because it's all 6 stars, and this you literally summoning on like a couple of update banners, right? So what is changing is that you're not using Sonetto, you're not really using Voyager, you're using Regulus because Regulus is going to help out because she'll provide defenses options with the dodge. And then she goes every other turn, so she doesn't use a lot of Moxie. And then she'll help Lilia be able to get her extra attack as well because she can help crit. But if you get Tooth Fairy, who is a crazy healer that also helps out with the crit resist, crit defense, and confusion. Basically, she just gives you a crap ton of crit. And she ends up being a very strong character that is a must pull. And she comes out in 1.2. And again, she's a must pull. If you're wanting crit. Must pull if you want crit. But you see this girl here, 37. She just recently came out. And honestly, she's amazing. But the synergy in the team is where we have Lilia. If she crits, she does a follow-up attack. 37 builds up her passive to be able to do her AoE follow-up attack based and she gets better charges from it if she has a ally using follow-up attacks, right? And 37 does true damage, and so it's just going to help you get a lot better clears to where you can have Lilia doing single target damage, 37 doing AoE damage, and Tooth Fairy buffing their crit. Because if you invest into 37, she can crit her Genesis damage, which is crazy. So just a really good team. And as they put here, Regulus is going to be a more AP generous and defensive team because of the dodge that she has, and you're going to be more aggressive with 37 because there's like you're not going to be able to help keep Lily alive. You have to be a lot smarter on the team, but the team will put out a lot of damage. Chemical Warfare, this is going to be the poison team, right? Now, this is a whale team. There is kind of like a budget version that is not as good and is well, not even not as good. It's nowhere close to being as good, and it's using rabies. instead of Changeling. But Changeling is such a great poison character that if you're considering going for poison team, you kind of pretty much have to go for her because she gets a huge increase of her own damage if there's stacks of poison on. And so like Changeling comes out in 1.2, so you will have to wait for it, but you can like slowly build a team even if you are like free to play or like a small spender, right? You'll just kind of really want to save up for Changeling and then try to reroll and get a copy of like Sotheby. And then hopefully you get a Bjorn Bloom. Conjura comes out in 1.3. She's gonna be a 5-star, so you can hopefully get lucky and get her on the banner in 1.3. Now with Tooth Fairy, it's gonna be a little difficult to get Tooth Fairy, especially if you're pulling a 1.2 and then trying to get a pull in Conjura. But with doing a team like this means you're not really having to pull the like if you're wanting to be a free to play and do this in a budget way, you're not gonna pull your 6-star starting out, and you're gonna save it to help you on the pulls, right? If you're wanting to go for Tooth Fairy. Now, if you want to use Sotheby, which I will personally be going for Sotheby, then you'll just use your pulls. You'll just re-roll to get Sotheby on the first 10 pull, and then you save the rest of the 30, hopefully, and then just use whatever you got, right? So there's ways to do it. I'll probably do a whole separate video talking about like my poison team plan, right? Especially if you're a budget player. But this is just a great, fun team. Poison does Genesis damage. Is a cool team. Hot People team. This is just using damn sexy characters. And so that's using Centurion, who is we all know a great character, great character. And then you also have Melania. She's that like kind of like librarian character. She has the glasses. If you like sexy librarians, she's for you. Shemaine, husbando for most people. He's actually a crazy character. He has a universal debuff. So you know, reality and mental defense debuffs. But also he like nukes on his ult. I didn't have a chance to get him, but like he nukes on his ult. So and he can do it quite often, and he's just a good character. But this is a whale team because like you're gonna be summoning like pretty much every update almost because Shemaine is 1.3, Tooth Fairy is 1.2, and you're gonna want Tooth Fairy, or you're gonna hope to get Medicine Pocket. Like this is all 6-star team, so just kind of think about this. This is like either Dolphin or really Whale to get this, but this is not not a team that you'll start off with. This is like going into the future. So if you really like Centurion, this is good options for you. Giga Brain team. This is a mental damage team. Black Dwarf, I did have a chance to get her. She's an insane character. She does have build up, so as the fight goes on, she gets stronger. She cycles these buffs between herself, like she has like extra leech. She has extra penetration. She gives herself skill damage buff. But she uses a lot of AP. She has to attack pretty much every time. So you have like Pickles, who goes every other turn, really, and then you have Tooth Fairy, who has buffs. And this is literally just a team of just buffing Black Dwarf, and she can help keep herself alive as well. So with having Tooth Fairy, just kind of helping out with healing, like you'll be fine. You'll be so fine with this. And so if you see me use Black Dwarf and you really like her, definitely prioritize on when you start out, probably saving your pulls from the initial 6-star, right? Saving your pulls, getting Pickles. Pickles will replace a Sonetto that you're using, and then whatever healer you're using, Tooth Fairy will replace that. And then you'll just wait until Black Dwarf at the end of 1.3. Great team. Now the flex characters that they have here, so it's for different options. So if you have, you have the 4th slot. The 4th slot is not really used, but if you do have to use it, it either means you're missing something in your team, or you kind of need to adjust things. Because every now and then you have a boss fight that'll have a 4th character for you, right? But or if you don't have the characters that are in some of the teams, but you're wanting to use it, you have other options here as well, right? Like, so there are some boss fights where you use all 4 characters, so that's where they have a lot of buffs or healers here to really help you with your teams. Or you have like a Knight who's just really good in cleaning up characters, and he gives everybody a damage bonus. And that's a really cool character, honestly. He's like a Aegislash, right? Pokemon. So really cool. But then like, Pickles is just kind of amazing, goes every other time with his abilities. So really great options here as a flex for that fourth slot if you need. Of course, two of them are 6 stars, but you have other options like Sonetta Balloon Party that are really good, and other 3-star options like Leilani is really good for giving extra Moxie, right? X is a intellect character, so really good for different situations with Dark, but also is a good debuffer. And then the twins, like some people are like, why are they in the B? They're actually really crazy for mental damage teams and giving crit. I use them in my CN account, and they're pretty good. So don't sleep on the 3-star units in this game. But guys, this is gonna conclude the video. Again, this is not a end all be all. This is not a like a must have. Like, this is just giving you guys a guide for who you may or may not want to use, and to just help you get an idea for some of the teams, and just use as a reference, right? Again, want to thank pridwin.gg, an amazing site. They are goated. Also want to thank again Gordon and Lyriel. I want to make sure I got their names right. They're doing amazing. So if you use pridwin.gg, just make sure to support them in any way. Join the Discord, talk up with them because they're great people. And then also, guys, I want to talk about like launch. So when launch comes, I will be continuing to play my CN account, but also be playing global. So global will be the first half of my streams, and then I'll do CN. So I'll continue to do it, and just make sure, guys, to join the streams. I stream on Twitch at twitch.tv Lucky Lux Gaming, and then click the bell so you know when I go live on YouTube if you prefer YouTube. But guys, like, I answer all types of questions. I play CN. I have plenty of people who I can talk to with CN. I use plenty of references so I can answer any question. If I don't know the answer, I will get the answer for you, right? So if there's anything you need to know, just ask me. Let me know in my comment section and everything like that. And speaking of comment section, leave a comment on this video if there's a team that you want to use, or if there's a team that you're thinking of that's not here, right? Like the video also if you made it to this point, because it means you're enjoying something in my content. And also sub to the channel because I'm gonna be making some goated reverse 1999 content. Guys, I'm making videos every single day to bring you guys content. I've been streaming consistently, so hang out on the channel. But guys, that's gonna be all. You've been amazing. Give amazing support. You guys are like just awesome goated community, and I'm loving making content for this game. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. You lucky gamers, have a good one. Lucky Lux out.